Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, back with you. And I know y'all have seen this lovely man on Imus. He was 31 years with Imus on the morning show. And not to mention, he is a stand-up comic. And probably after this show, he will be unemployed. Good morning. How are you, Mr. Rob Bartlett?
Oh, man, you can't trust people from New York.
You're in New York. I know. That's cool.
That's what I'm saying. You can't trust. What can I say? I'm so sorry. I overslept.
Oh, that's all rock stars are like that, man. We know how you are.
I'm just an awful person.
Party all.
I love you guys. I'm just the biggest fan of your work, and I can't believe it. Seriously, this is just ridiculous.
Good morning, brother. Now, you're in New York.
Man. How you doing?
Your mayor up there, he's kind of a hands-on guy, man.
Well,
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
Yeah. Lord, how have you been doing?
As well as anyone can do in a situation where what you do for a living involves you standing up in front of people in a crowded room when nobody can be in a crowded room.
Well, now you're in the business now with all this politically correct stuff going on. You can't even make fun of nobody anymore. Well, you're going to have to come up with some new jokes.
That's kind of the problem, is that, everyone's got like a trigger. You can't, I've discovered that the best people you can make fun of are the Amish, because
they don't got TV.
Because they're not allowed to, do anything technical. So, you can go on a podcast or you can go on TV, or, it's not like they're going to the nightclub. So, these pretzel benders, I'm telling you.
I'm with you. Or rednecks. You can make fun of rednecks because we don't understand it,
Oh, no. I love rednecks. Well, when I was on the road, my favorite part of the country was down south. I love down south. And not only is it because the audiences are so great, but because y'all have sweet tea.
And grits. Don't forget grits, brother.
Grits, that's what I'm saying, but sweet tea, that's the thing. Because you go to a restaurant in New York and you say, give me some sweet tea, and the waiter looks at you and says, so put some sugar in it.
Yeah.
Can't be done. It's got to be sugared when it's boiling, man. It's got to be sugared.
Absolutely.
But now when I go to New York and I place an order, my waitress normally looks at me and says, does anybody have a clue what this guy just said? I don't know what he ordered.
I'm having no problem understanding you.
It's like, what the heck is a yaunt? A yaunt. I don't know. Man, you was on with Amos for 31 years. That was great. I've watched a lot of your stuff over the years, and you're a funny guy. Funny ha-ha.
Thank you. Bless your heart. And I am. Well, it's a funny ha-ha and funny maybe there's something not right, like maybe my parents were related by more than just marriage. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot not right here.
Are you sure you're not from the South?
You're from the South.
No, it's just because I'm a comedian. You got to have something wrong.
Geez, I'll tell you, I'd hate, we talk to a lot of comedians on here, and it's just a bad time for comedians. I mean,
for performers, period, but for comedians in particular, because political comedy is always, I can't remember in my lifetime a president that has not been made fun of by at some level, and it's not allowed right now.
Who was the guy we had on? He said, I am fat and I am gay, and I can't even make fun of myself. Honestly.
Well, Amos used to say, everyone thinks it's funny until it's about them. Everybody just seems to be when did we all lose the sense of humor? And when did everyone get so sacrosanct you couldn't make fun of it?
Right.
I mean, George Carlin would be just out of his mind if he knew what was going on now. I mean, I remember him saying that was a comedian's job, was to make fun of the world around us.
That's
to
right.
point out the things that were wrong, you know?
Right. Yeah, and I loved it. And you got to laugh at yourself, man. People that laugh live longer, I think. But now you've got a thing here. I was looking on your Facebook. You got a 24-hour marathon comedy podcast for Bob Nilsson.
Yeah, we did that. Bob was one of the guys I started out with. He and I and Eddie Murphy actually were the Identical Triplets back in the late 70s when we first started. And Bob, unfortunately, is colon cancer. And he, of course, as a comedian, has not the greatest health insurance. And
Right.
so we just did a podcast, 24-hour podcast, to try and raise some money for him. Great guy, funny guy.
Funny guy. I love the football thing he does. That's just,
Oh man, that's classic.
yeah, that is.
He stole it from me, but that's fine. I don't mind. But yeah, I mean that's the one thing about comedians. Our tribe, we tend to take care of each other, you know.
Right.
Except when we're supposed to phone in and we oversleep.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. That happens. A lot of folks don't.
It happens
wanna,
on our show a
A lot of
lot.
folks don't want to come on our show.
We don't have any structure on our show at all, so it's okay.
I don't have any structure in my life. That's the problem.
That's great. Now, are you from New York?
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn and raised on Long Island. I've spent many years trying to get rid of my accent. So,
You're not
once in a while,
successful. You have been unsuccessful. I'm just going to tell you that.
unsuccessful in getting rid of my accent.
Yeah.
Well, I could really go bad. I mean, I could really give you the Brooklyn accent. Then, it'd be a problem. Nobody would understand me neither. You know what I'm saying?
But now you're up there in New York. The mob. Do you know any mobsters? I mean, I love mobsters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't, think about it. If it wasn't for mobsters, we wouldn't have all this cool stuff like concrete shoes, large trunks, and Lincolns. And I mean, they brought a lot to us.
Steven's got a friend named Sal, so he knows.
That's true. They don't get credit for what they have contributed to society.
That's what I'm saying,
Especially in show business, there tend to be a lot of mobsters. I know that, on Broadway, they have mobsters, and they're called the Stagehands Union. But
right.
TV every once in a while, when I was doing elementary, I played a cop, which was my goal in life, was to play a cop on television or movies. I had to play a police captain for 5 episodes at elementary, and there was just one guy who was sat in the corner the entire time on the set, and just nice suit, whatever, and just nodded and didn't really. I asked somebody. I said, "Who's that guy?" In a corner, and there was the script supervisor went over to me. She said, "Don't look him in the eye, and don't refer to him, and don't say anything to him." I said, "Is he from the network?" She goes, "Yeah, we'll say he's from the network."
He's into used furniture.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nuts.
Oh, Lord. Hey, they're still out. They say their mob has been no more, but I don't believe that. But, yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't exist. It's Don Corleone would be. What are you saying? This is a mafia. What is this word mafia? It's family.
Well, you have to admit, Vegas was a lot better when the mob ran it than when the corporations ran it.
At least then, all the sins were up front about it. The prostitution and making gambling legal, and it's you're dipping your beak into my pocket. It's not something I want to do.
I love it. That's the thing about it.
Awesome.
I want to come to New York, and everybody's like, "What are you going to do when you go?" I want to go up there where all the mob stuff happened, where everybody got took out and shot and all that stuff. Do you ever do like a mob tour?
You should go to Chicago. There's a lot of that
stuff
there.
up there.
I once did a show in a disco, and there was nobody there except for 2 tables of these guys and these really knockout women dressed to the nines, and there was a velvet rope around the table. And I was told by the club owner this was like a command performance and not to engage these two tables in anything. I couldn't do any crowd work. Hey, how you doing? Where you from? Couldn't do any of that. I said, what's the deal? I went, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Would you like to go home tonight? Just don't do it. So but it's a beautiful thing. You got to love it.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But now you being in a disco, that gives me a whole new outlook. Kind of.
Well, that's the sight lines. I mean, there was a lot of that where they were converting discos and stuff on different nights to do comedy shows back at the Boom. I know there was a garage once. I think it was a garage in Atlanta,
right?
An automobile garage where they did a comedy night.
That's the thing, though. You think about this. Everybody always complains about the country music nowadays is not country music and the rock is not rock. But you never hear anybody complaining about disco not coming back.
Steven's been counting on it coming back so he can wear those shoes again.
Yeah.
So, Rob, I'm kind of cyber stalking you here. Is it true that you actually were a commentator for Monday Night Raw wrestling?
That is awesome.
Should I not bring this up?
No. Actually, it was a great time. It was a weird time, but it was a great time. I was one of the first. It was myself, Vince McMahon, and Macho Man Randy
I'm looking
Savage.
at that. That sounds like it would have been fun.
Man, I'm going to tell you something.
It was fun. And to be honest with you, I was so awful at it. I'm on the list of the top 10 worst wrestling commentators of all time.
I'm going to go back and find one of the shows. Folks, this is from 1993. I'm going to go back.
Rob, I'm going to tell you.
There's definitely there's a few DVDs and stuff out that's got clips, and there's some clips on YouTube, and you can see for yourself why I'm in the top 10 worst. I'm not number one, but I can hope.
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Yeah, keep trying.
I'm trying, but it was great. I mean, Vince thought it would be a great idea to have a comic who worked, in radio in the morning and commenting on current events, and to add to the live aspect of it, and he was wrong.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, man, I was a big football and baseball fan up till I got about 12 or 13 years old, and then I discovered women's mud wrestling. Changed my world. Changed my whole world.
Some people think that there's no God.
I'm telling you, man. Proof.
Women's mud wrestling is an example of why there is a God and why he wants us to be happy.
I can't believe I'm sitting here with you guys. Good gracious.
I thought you was a
male chauvinist.
Didn't you do that one time?
No, I never. I used to go out to mud runs and drive four-wheelers, but I didn't mud wrestle.
Oh, well, I'm telling you.
Sorry.
But anyway.
Well, you still have time.
Yeah, you still have time.
I don't know. Nobody wants to see a 55-year-old woman rolling around the mud, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. Speak for yourself.
Rob, we've got to get to the end of the show is coming up, man. We got to get you back on. If you would, we'd love to have you back.
I will. When do you want me? I'll set my alarm now.
There you go. About 5 minutes. No, we got it. I'll send you. I'll have.
My people will call your people.
No, your people call my person.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how that works. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
I'd love to come back, guys. And
I just want to say the morning dish is one of the greatest gifts to radio. And I like to drink wine more than I used to, so don't pay any attention to that.
There you go. Rob, we appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
All right, take care. Rob Bartlett, go check him out.
Yeah,
www. You can find him all over. Neat guy. Neat guy, and he has been around. I mean, honestly, some of the people he's worked with throughout the years has been really, really unreal. And so, like I said, 31 years on national TV. You can't go wrong with that.
See y'all tomorrow.
We're out of here. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.